From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for the debate.
The debate at 10, powered by Reva University.
Hello and welcome. I am Aishwarya Kapoor and this is the debate. Today, the Assam Chief Minister is in the middle of a full-blown controversy. Yes, we are talking about Himanta Biswa Sarma. And like always, he's not mincing his words. He's very clear. Not even a single alphabet he's missing. He has said word to word in an event in the national capital in presence of a live audience. And he was very clear when he made a comment. And it was just not a passing by comment, viewers. It was a well thought out, researched comment backed by facts by the Assam Chief Minister. And as soon as the words, and I quote, Himanta Biswa Sarma said, the word Madrasa should cease to exist. And the moment the Assam Chief Minister said this, that the word Madrasa should cease to exist, there was a controversy. The social network went berserk. Himanta Biswa Sarma suddenly started trending. Suddenly. Himanta Biswa Sarma against madrasas. Himanta is against madrasas. The whole gang came out. Without listening to the full statement made by the Assam Chief Minister. That's the debate on the top of 10. But let's listen in. What did the Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma exactly said and then debate. Himanta Biswa Sarma.
The Assam Chief Minister created controversy when he made this comment about madrasas.
ये मद्रसा शब्द ही विलुप्त हो जाना चाहिए। जब तक ये मद्रसा दिमाग में घूमते रहेगा तब तक बच्चा को भी डॉक्टर इंजीनियर नहीं बन सकता है। अगर बच्चा को आप स्कूल में जाने का समय आप पूछ लेता है कि बेटा तुम मद्रसा जा रहा है, तुम जुनाब बनेगा, इस रास्ते से तुम डॉक्टर नहीं बनेगा, तो कोई बच्चा मद्रसा नहीं जाएगा। मद्रसा में तो दाखिल किया जाता है वायलेटिंग ह्यूमन राइट्स, इसलिए वो रास्ता बंद हो जाता है। तो आप जरूर कुरान पढ़ाइए, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन सबसे ज़्यादा पढ़ाइए साइंस, मैथ्स, बायोलॉजी, बोटानी, जियोलॉजी। तो इसीलिए मद्रसा सब विलुप्त हो जाना चाहिए, नॉर्मल एजुकेशन होना चाहिए और घर में आप खूब आपका धर्म पुथी पढ़ाइए।
Interestingly, all government-run madrasas and religious institutes have already been converted into ordinary schools as of 2020.
Has finally decided to reform the educational system to make it secular, and as a result, now all these high madrasas and madrasas will stop functioning, and will convert every such institution to a general education institute like any other institute.
But the opposition has lashed out with Mehbooba Mufti accusing the BJP of furthering a British divide and rule agenda.
और आपस में जो चीफ मिनिस्टर हैं उनका इस वक्त मुकाबला हो रहा है एक दूसरे के साथ कि कौन ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मुसलमानों को तंग करेगा, मुसलमानों को खुदा ना खास्ता नेस्त नाबूद करने में पहल करेगा। इसीलिए मस्जिद और मंदिर के मुद्दे उठाए जा रहे हैं, मुसलमानों को प्रोवोक किया जा रहा है, उनको इश्तियाल दिलाया जा रहा है कि वो रिएक्ट करे और इनको मौका मिले एक और गुजरात का कांड करने का, ये एक और जो यूपी में हुआ था या दूसरी जगह पे हुआ था।
The AIUDF is claiming it is all the handiwork of the RSS.
हेमंत बिस्वा शर्मा पहले कांग्रेस में थे, अब चूंकि बीजेपी में आ गए तो उनकी फैमिली बदल गई। अब फैमिली के जो हेड लोग हैं जो बोलेंगे जो सिखाएंगे उनको बोलना ही पड़ेगा। अगर उनको चीफ मिनिस्टर रहना है तो आरएसएस के एजेंडे पे काम करना ही पड़ेगा। उनको चीफ मिनिस्टर रहना है तो नागपुर पे एजेंडे पे काम करना ही पड़ेगा। नागपुर की बोली जो वहां से सिखा के देंगे वो उनको भूलना पड़ेगा। इसलिए ये पूरा एजेंडा आरएसएस का है।
The left claiming it was an attack on Muslims.
They can say if the Muslims have been eliminated from the country, then it will be benefit for the Muslims. What is the way? They want to destroy whatever language, culture, faith, practice, way of life of Muslims. Every aspect of Muslims are being attacked by the RSS.
But surprisingly, support has poured in from unexpected quarters, with SP ally OP Rajbhar saying this.
हमारा अपना मानना है कि उनको चाहिए कि अपने स्टेट में एक समान अनिवार्य फ्री शिक्षा कर दें, एक समान शिक्षा कर दें, चाहे वो मदरसा हो, चाहे कॉन्वेंट हो, चाहे सरकारी हो, सब जगह एक किताब पढ़ाई जाएगी। कानून बना दें, कौन रोक रहा है?
And those outraged by the modernization of madrasas were the ones completely silent on this unabashed sexism.
അങ്ങനത്തെ പെൺകുട്ടികളൊന്നും ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വിളിക്കണ്ട. സമസ്തന്റെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയില്ലേ? സമസ്തന്റെ തീരുമാനം രക്ഷിതാവിനോട് വരാൻ പറയും. ഇയാ വിളിച്ചത്?
അല്ലല്ല, ഞാനല്ല. ഞാൻ എന്റെ കുട്ടിനെ വരണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ ഈ ഗ്രൂപ്പ്
It is time to stop coloring education and equal opportunity for all with religion. Let's debate.
So viewers, Himanta Biswa Sarma was very clear. And before I begin, and before I go to my complete panel, I just want to say that it was just not a one-off comment. He said the word Madrasa should cease to exist. He says until Madrasa remains in one's mindset, a child cannot become a doctor or engineer. So what he's saying is that Madrasa means no to doctor and engineer. What he's saying is that Madrasa means human right violation, because I quote Himanta Biswa Sarma says, he says that if you ask a child at the time to going to school and tell him that you won't become a doctor by taking this path, then no child will go to Madrasa. A child is admitted to Madrasa violating human rights in the process. You can preach what you want, there is no issue in that. But to teach science, maths, biology, botany and geology is most important. I am joined today at the debate Tuhin Sinha, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Thank you, Tuhin. Prafullah Ketkar, editor, organizer. Professor Sangeet Ragi, political analyst in the studio with me. Qazi Masoom Akhtar Sahab, Padma Shri awardee and educationalist, was assaulted in 2015 for asking his madrasa students to sing national anthem, viewers. To be noted, Kamru Chaudhary, leader Congress, live from Kolkata. Atikur Rahman, Islamic scholar, live from Mumbai. Khaliqur Rahman, leader TRS from Hyderabad. And Haziq Khan, Islamic scholar from the national capital here. I first come to you, Atikur Rahman, Islamic scholar. Atikur Rahman, can you tell me, Atikur Rahman and Qazi Masoom Akhtar? I'll come to you, Tuhin, in 30 seconds, but if I could just go to Atikur Rahman and Qazi Masoom Akhtar. Atikur Rahman, what's the problem? He's just saying, teach your children science, maths, biology, botany and geology. What's wrong with it? Atikur Rahman.
Absolutely, Aishwarya, he is not at all wrong. Actually, it is a slip of the tongue. The Chief Minister of Assam, Mr. Biswas, meant to say the word Muslims. The word Muslims should cease to exist.
His name is not Biswas. His name is Himanta Biswa Sarma. Yeah, carry on, sir.
Himanta, the honorable Chief Minister of Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma, is a slip of the tongue on its part. He meant to say the word Muslims should cease to exist. This is the ideology of the RSS. You want me to further this argument? I am furthering the argument. If a Hindu boy is going to a RSS shaka, he will be learning biology, botany, he will be learning how to become a pilot, but not a Muslim going to a madrasa. Am I correct? going to an RSS Shaka
Professor
will
Ali,
be
I'll
making
come to you,
a
come to you.
scientific
But
temperament.
I first want to go
and selling,
to Qazi Masoom
and selling
I'll
a
go to
gobar
Qazi Masoom
chip-
Akhtar first.
A gobar
No, no.
chip by the
Atikur Rahman, Atikur
Ayush
Rahman, I've
Ministry.
understood what your point. Atikur Rahman, you've made your point. These are opening comments. Let's be quick and...
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Qazi Masoom Akhtar, Padma Shri awardian and an educationalist who was assaulted in 2015. Qazi Sahab, what's wrong in children being taught science, maths, biology and botany, sir? Qazi Masoom Akhtar.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. As a responsible citizen of our country, it is our primary duty to honor our Indian culture and the tradition. Madrasa is a word, Arabic word. It is not the word of Indian culture. It is an Arabic word. We must devote, we must honor our dignity. School and madrasa is the same word. Why we are not used the word Vidyalaya? Why not? What is the problem with our word, our culture?
No, but Atikur Rahman says
Madrasa is
this is against Muslims.
Arabic name.
Qazi Sahab, Atikur Rahman is making it against
there's
Muslims.
nothing of Muslim.
He's not talking about education. He says that the Assam Chief Minister is targeting a particular community, sir.
I was the teacher. No, there's nothing. Every Muslim are the citizen of India. They have duty to honor our country. And all education will be the secular education. No government institution can run by the help of the religious point of view. Government fund for the secular education
going to an
must
RSS
use for the secular
Shaka
education
is
only.
a secular education.
Once I was
I'm coming in 30 seconds.
Students there, the
Prafulla Khedkar coming.
Manuvadi ideology
Prafulla coming.
is a secular education.
You
the
may condemn
Brahmin
there,
path
you
that
may
is taught
condemn-
in RSS Shaka is a secular education.
Yes.
No,
Yes,
Prafulla,
Atikur Rahman,
Prafulla is countering.
yes.
Prafulla is countering
Yes.
Atikur Rahman. Prafulla.
See, Aishwarya, first let me make it clear, because I was conducting that interview with Himanta Biswa Sarma in Organizer Conclave. He
Yes,
made
and
two
that's
things
why you are
clear.
important today.
He made two things clear. One is, everywhere in education where state is funding, there should not be religious education. And he did it in terms of policy for Sanskrit school as well as madrasas. So I don't think there should be any problem with this. Two, we have seen today what happened in a PFI rally where a call for genocide of Hindus and Christians were given. That is the mindset. Atikur Rahman is misleading the country by calling RSS Shaka and equating it with Madrasa, because RSS Shaka takes place 1 hour.
No, because it suits him.
In a day.
No, because it suits him. Prafulla, it suits him. Prafulla, he is not talking about education. Atikur Rahman today, and viewers, let's be clear about it. Viewers, let's be clear about it. Prafulla Khedkar, you understand him better than me. I'll just tell you this much. That Atikur Rahman exactly understands. Atikur Rahman, let's relax for 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds and then you come. He has said there should be... Prafulla Khedkar, I am just saying, the Assam Chief Minister, and I again quote, he says, Prafulla, just give me 10 seconds. Prafulla, 10 seconds and the floor is yours, guys. 10 seconds, viewers. You can preach Quran. There is no issue. And I quote the Assamese Chief Minister, Himanta Biswa Sarma. He says, you can preach Quran, there is no issue with that. But teach science, maths, biology, botany and geology the most. And can you tell me, kindly, Khalikur Rahman, leader TRS, so what's wrong with it? Khalikur Rahman and Tuhin. Khalikur Rahman and Tuhin. Khalikur Rahman and Tuhin.
You may teach Quran to your children, but at home.
Nothing wrong with the statement of Assam.
Atikur Rahman, Khalik, I'm going to Khalik and Tuhin.
I find everything wrong with the statement of Assam Chief Minister, Honorable Himanta Biswa Sarmaji. For the reason is, if he was only talking about the modernization of Madrasa, he was only talking about teaching botany, physics, chemistry to the Madrasa students. To such extent, he was making some sense. But he has gone beyond that by adding communal color to that. He said that
all the Muslims born here in India were Hindus. So, I mean,
Aishwarya ji, you know the Sharia and the triple talaq admirers.
I'm coming to you, Tuhin. 10 seconds and I'm coming to you. 10 seconds.
About the supremacy as to who is going to, spread more hatred. So this is the reason. And moreover, Himanta
Is it? Is it Tuhin? Tuhin, is it?
Yes, Aishwarya.
Tuhin, is it? Let Tuhin answer. Let Tuhin Sinha reply.
Aishwarya, the Sharia,
let Tuhin reply. Let Tuhin reply.
Aishwarya, the triple talaq and Sharia admirers will never appreciate a progressive, positive outlook.
Relax, Khalik. Khalik Sahab, relax.
The Sharia and triple talaq admirers will never appreciate a positive, progressive outlook. Please, let me tell you this. It was the Honorable Prime Minister who had a few years ago very clearly said that his vision of his aspiration for a Muslim student was he imagined or he visualized a Muslim student holding the Quran in one hand and the laptop in the other. And therefore, the center invested a lot. Please calm down. Please calm down. And therefore, the center invested a lot in the modernization of madrasas. But at this point of time, there is also an increasing realization that the madrasas continue to be a hub of radicalization, and that needs to be combated. Now, please understand, with a huge number, you can differ. The next story. Please calm down.
Relax, one by one, guys.
Please understand that even at this point, the vast number of unorganized. You have a right to agree. You have a right to agree. Even at this, I'm making an important point. I'm making an important point. Hold on for 15 seconds.
Khalik, you need to calm down.
Today,
can I have Mr. Kamru Chaudhary there? Can I have Mr. Kamru Chaudhary there? Can I have Mr. Kamru Chaudhary instead of Khalik?
Yeah, Aishwarya. Basically, Tuhin, have you finished? Let me just give you just few important facts out here for the benefit of the viewers.
Thank you, Mr. Chaudhary.
Am I audible?
Let Tuhin finish and then you begin.
Thank you. The basic point is that 96% of Muslims in India
finish first, Mr. Chaudhary. Let Tuhin finish, then you begin.
I'm making an important point. After 15 seconds, you continue. The sheer number of unorganized madrasas and their dubious sources of funding today is a cause of national security concern, which I'm sure you will be delving upon in the next story on PFI. Their sources of funding are suspect. In the absence of a formal course, in the absence of a formal course structure, we have no idea what they are imbibing in those. What Himanta Biswa, just 1 second, it takes immense courage for a state which has...
Mr. Chaudhary, calm down, Mr. Chaudhary.
For a state which has 36% Muslim population, it takes immense courage and conviction for the Chief Minister and to come and
I'm
make
stopping both of you for 10 seconds. Professor Sangeet Ragi and Haziq Khan, I'm stopping for both. I'll request Tuhin, I'm coming to you after 60 seconds. After 60 seconds, Mr. Chaudhary. I don't think you can hear me. Mr. Chaudhary. Relax. I'll come to you. What I only wanted, viewers, that one by one, so that Professor Ragi, you heard everyone. I wanted to go to Mr. Kamru Chaudhary, but he's just not ready to listen. But they are saying it's not against that the children should be taught science, math, biology, botany and geology, but it's against Muslims. That's what they are saying.
Look, why the Quran, which carries the doctrinaire of hate against the
but he says there is no problem, you can preach Quran.
No.
Let's not quote, let's not misquote. There is no issue with that. He says, but teach science, math, biology and botany, sir.
Three issues.
What's the problem with that?
3 issues, quickly. Because they are not for modernization of mind. They are not to preach the rationality to the students. The moment the rationality comes in and penetrates into their mind, the place for irrationality will be invisible. And that is what the Muslim society doesn't want to have.
Is that
number one? Number two, Islamic agenda for Atikur Rahman through carrying through the madrasas and other such kind of religious organization is fine. But if the RSS talks about the Hindu and Hindutva, then there is a problem with Atikur Rahman. So you run...
he has a problem with you right now also.
No.
He has a problem with you right now also. The minute you started speaking, he had a problem. Yes, Atikur Rahman. What's your problem? Let's listen. What's your problem so that you can counter, sir?
So,
let me listen to what he says.
Madrasa,
what are your views on this?
Madrasa is a place for producing irrational mind.
Who is he to lecture us?
Madrasa is
Who is he to lecture us?
Professor Ragi?
Madrasa.
Professor Ragi, are you an Islamophobe?
No, I'm not Islamophobic.
He's saying you are.
I simply expose the radicalizing mind of Islamic education. Because Islamic education throughout the world is producing, it is the Madrasa which is producing irrational mind. It is Madrasa which says that the Prithvi is still chapti hai. अरे पृथ्वी आज के दिन में भी कोई कहे कि पृथ्वी चपटी है और हम अपने बच्चे को इसलिए मदरसा भेजते हैं कि हमारा बेटा हाफिज बन जाए, तो सोच सकते हैं कि
हाफिज खान
क्या ये दर्द
हाजिक खान साहब, आई एम गोना आस्क यू इन हिंदी वेरी वेरी क्लियरली. ही सेज, वो कह रहा है मेरे को कुरान से कोई दिक्कत नहीं, और बहुत सही कह रहा है भाई, सबकी रिलीजियस किताब है, सबको अपनी अपनी किताब का सबका अपना 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 मानिए, बिल्कुल. वो कह रहा है घर में पढ़ाइए, लेकिन बच्चों को गणित तो पढ़ा लो, बच्चों को मैथ्स, साइंस, बायोलॉजी, बॉटनी तो पढ़ाओ, so that they can be a doctor, so that they can be an engineer. हाजिक खान, what's wrong with that?
हेमंत शर्मा जी जो और रागी साहब जो कह रहे हैं,
हिमंत बिश्वा शर्मा
जी, चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ आसाम,
हाँ जी,
ये जो कह रहे हैं ये मानसिक रूप से देश के संविधान की ऐसी तैसी कर रहे हैं.
कैसे?
इसलिए कर रहे हैं कि आजाद हुआ था तो लाहौर से लेके कलकत्ते तक इसी मदरसों के उलमा 52,000 फांसी पे फंदे पे चढ़े हुए थे.
No one did anything?
ये हम ये कह रहे हैं, मेरे घर में 35 डॉक्टर, 15 इंजीनियर हैं, मेरे घर में IAS है, मेरे घर में PCS है, ये क्या इनको हो गया?
All of them went to
divided my motherland.
And all of them went to Madrasa.
They are the ones. एक भी आदमी
अतीकुर रहमान
परिवार में, मेरे फादर स्वतंत्रता सेनानी थे, इनके घर में ना स्वतंत्रता सेनानी होगा, ना धार्मिक एतबार से कोई आलिम होगा, ना हाफिज होगा, ना धर्म का.
हाँ साहब, सुनना पड़ेगा. हाँ साहब, आपने बोला है लाइव चैनल पे, अतीकुर रहमान, खलीक यू आर स्पीकिंग, आई विल कम टू यू. आपने बोला
भारत का संविधान इस बात की इजाजत देता है.
You said you have IAS officers,
हम क्या
पढ़ेंगे? Did all of you went to madrasas?
पढ़ेंगे, साइंस पढ़ेंगे, ये धार्मिक किताब पढ़ेंगे.
He's saying they should.
हमारा संविधान इजाजत दे रहा है. ये कौन है ठेकेदार? इन्हें किसने ठेकेदारी दी? ये संविधान की अवहेलना कर रहे हैं, संविधान की धज्जियां उड़ा रहे हैं. हम अपने मर्जी के मालिक हैं. हिंदुस्तान के डेमोक्रेसी में ये फंडामेंटल राइट है. राइट के एतबार से
इस्लाम इज नॉट,
हम क्या
doesn't believe in democracy.
ना तो देश में जब से आए हो
Muslim rights. Islam believes only in the Muslim Brotherhood. Islam is not for the universal brotherhood.
इस्लाम ने ही दुनिया को बदिया है. इससे पहले कोई जानता नहीं था.
Kill Lazar, kill Kafirs, kill non-Muslims.
जानते थे, ना आप जानते थे, न यूरोप जानता था, न हिंदुस्तान जानता था.
Only you knew. No, यार. I'm getting out of the story. I'm going out of the studio. Relax. The country belongs to all. Relax.
उनकी हालत भिखारी.
I don't understand. Himanta Biswa Sharma says, and he even tweets it. He even goes on the social networking site and says, every child shall be exposed to knowledge of science, mathematics, and other branches of modern education. Who, in his or her sane mind, can have problem with children studying science and mathematics? Tuhin first, and after 45 seconds, Mr. Chaudhary then. Please don't speak over each other. Thank you very much.
The Muslim community of this country has been failed by a rather mediocre and retrograde leadership, the kind of leadership that Asaduddin Owaisi produces, which wants them to remain in ghettos. So please understand this. Himanta Biswa comes from a state which has one of the largest Muslim populations, 36% Muslim population. And if he says that, it requires a lot of courage, conviction, and selflessness in say that. 36% is not a small vote bank. And yet he knows that he will be able to convince the community because he wants to mainstream the community. He has the good of Assam and the good of the country in mind. But unfortunately, the same people who want to remain in ghettos, the same people who want to follow, the triple talaq and Sharia mentality, they can't accept it. Isn't it a fact that T.S. Hassan, a sitting member of Samajwadi Party last year, had said that COVID इसलिए peak कर रहा है इंडिया में क्योंकि शरिया लॉ नहीं है? तो इस तरह के लोग कभी एक प्रोग्रेसिव थॉट को नहीं एक्सेप्ट कर पाएंगे. ये फैक्ट है. इनसे उम्मीद रखना भी गलत होगा. These people would never be able to accept a progressive.
Mr. Chaudhary, is that true? Why is it being made a Hindu-Muslim thing now?
Let me just plainly put it across to you. I was born, brought up in Assam, the same
Please,
state
45 seconds are yours.
Sharma belongs to. And I've seen the madrasas there in and out, how the madrasa system worked out there. Now I am settled in West Bengal and I am seeing the madrasa board operate out here. What was needed of the hour was building up leadership that Tuhin Sinha is talking of, like Dr. Syed Ahmad Khan, who built up the Aligarh Muslim University. The reform should be coming from within the community, not like a Tughlaqi farman कल से मदरसा का funding बंद, मतलब मदरसा अपना दरवाजा बंद कर दे. लेकिन the point out here only 4% of the Muslim population is going to the madrasas. Even my children have gone to English medium school, but I taught them Islam, Islamic teachings at my house. But the point here is only those very poor people of the society, they go to the madrasas. We must remember that. This is in a way the government's inability to cater to good education for these poor
they
people.
Used to, you know, they were exposed to the modern education. But what is happening today in Afghanistan? What is happening today in Algeria? What is happening
we are
today
discussing India here.
Tunisia,
we are discussing Indian Muslims out here. Indian Muslims are nowhere responsible for what is happening in Afghanistan and Pakistan. For God's sake, finish that argument. We are Indians by choice, not by chance.
Okay, relax. Prafulla Ketkar and Atikur Rahman. Prafulla, though, despite you mentioning that you were present, despite you mentioning, Prafulla Ketkar, that you were right there when this comment was made, Prafulla Ketkar, they are making it very clear. They are making it clear that it is not about madarsas, or it is not about education, it is not about science or maths. It is about targeting Muslims. That is what Atikur Rahman is openly saying, Prafulla. You were there. No, you are the best judge of it. Prafulla Ketkar.
No. I interviewed him and he made one important statement. People like Atikur Rahman or Owaisi are the biggest enemies of Muslims simply because they don't want them to get the proper education. What is the meaning of madrasa? The dictionary meaning of madrasa is an institution for Islamic instruction. Now, why does a secular state should give education in Islamic instructions? They are free to learn that. We all learn our Hindu customs in our houses.
Who are you to dictate? Who are you to
What do you mean, who are you to? Do you believe in secular state or not? Do you want to make India an Islamic state? Do you believe that India is an Islamic state? No.
10 seconds.
You intervened. I didn't.
10 seconds.
You intervened. I'll tell you who am I.
Atikur Rahman, give him 30 first. Give him 30 seconds first. Then you take your turn. Give him 30 and then you take your turn.
Because you believe in Sharia law. You believe in Sharia law. I believe in Ambedkar's constitution. Ambedkar's constitution gives you right to preach and propagate, but that doesn't mean Assam, West Bengal and Uttar Pradesh, 3 states are there where state funding madrasas are running. That is against the spirit of the constitution. Simply because our constitution, it is secular, the nation can be Hindu, the Rashtra is Hindu, but the state is always secular. State should not discriminate on the basis of any religion. Unfortunately,
let Atikur respond.
You go to bordering areas.
Let Atikur Rahman respond. Ending comments.
Assam and Bengal.
Okay, Praful, you are done.
Any other customs are not.
Atikur Rahman is
Let me expose them.
Atikur Rahman is responding. Qazi Masoom Akhtar,
Just 2 points.
After this.
You to tell me this.
Just 2 points. The people who are supporting the Assam Chief Minister have created.
Are you Aurangzeb?
Can I have Qazi Masoom Akhtar on the other side?
Okay, you haven't done.
Atikur Rahman, carry on.
The time is getting over.
Yes, only, please.
Praful,
Atikur Rahman, carry
I'll
on.
expose you.
Atikur Rahman, carry on.
Aishwarya, the people who are supporting this statement of the Assam Chief Minister have created an Ayush ministry which is selling a chip, a gobar chip for 100 rupees. If you put the chip in your mobile phone, the cell phones won't get any viruses. Secondly, ask Praful, the RSS has created how many engineers in the last 50 years? Ask him. Our madarsas, Hazi Khan Sahib is saying only 15 engineers within his family. How many engineers they have created in the last 50 years? They give
No, I asked
arms
him.
training to
Did they went to
in their
madrasas?
shakas.
He
Is
didn't
this
respond.
constitutional?
He didn't respond.
The
On that
RSS
point, I
shaka.
wanted to ask him,
Ayush
did they all went to
ministry-
madrasas?
Ayush
He did not
ministry
respond.
selling gobar
He did
chips.
not respond, viewers. But I'll come to you.
Ayush-
Qazi Masoom Akhtar. Qazi Masoom Akhtar. Ending comments. It all gets derailed. Relax. Qazi Masoom Akhtar. Qazi Masoom Akhtar. Studio out.
Please,
You are not
silence,
there.
please.
You are not there.
Let
Qazi
me
Masoom
talk,
Akhtar.
please.
Studio.
Please let me talk.
You are not there, bhai. Relax. Professor Agi. Relax. Qazi Masoom Akhtar. Qazi Masoom Akhtar.
You may teach Quran to your children. Yes, please. You may teach Quran to your children, but that must be at home, at your home, not the government funding institution. At first you try to remember it.
No,
The education policy must be
damn with the
secular
government.
education policy
Damn
in
with
India,
the government.
throughout every state.
Damn with the
Listen,
government.
boss.
Every
We
state.
will read the Quran wherever we want. Damn with your government. Damn with your funding. Damn with your funding.
That there is a large, there is a
I'll come to you. They are saying
You lick their feet.
and your leaders are
You
deliberately
lick their
doing
feet.
it.
You have
That's the
gotten a
counter.
war.
Atikur Rahman, now you need to relax.
देखिए
Khalik, can I have
Aishwarya-
Khalikur Rahman instead of Atikur Rahman? To him, 30
Aishwarya,
seconds
there
to
is a
you.
very-
They are
yeah,
saying
there is
your
a
party is
very-
deliberately doing it.
Not at all, Aishwarya. There is a very
Khalik, relax.
large number
Khalik, relax.
of please. There is a very large number of unorganized
Khalik, you need to relax,
madrasas
otherwise
which are getting dubious sources of funding. Some from Saudi Arabia, some from Iraq, and from other parts of the world. So there are many aspects involved over here, including the national security issue, which I'm sure you will cover in your next debate. It is not a simple issue, but to say that we are anti-Muslim is the biggest lie. Prafulji has already explained that Himanta Biswa ji very clearly mentioned that his rule applies to all. His rule applies to all religious institutions. They apply to madrasas as well as they apply to Sanskrit institutions.
Why?
And all religious means.
Okay, Tuhin. Khalik, what's your problem? Khalik, what's your problem with children being taught math, science and biology? Khalik, in 30 seconds, can you tell me? Khalikur Rahman, can you in 30 seconds tell me?
There is
What's
no
your
problem. Every mother
with
tongue
children
is very
being taught
good,
math, science
but
and biology?
But here, the only problem is with the mentality of the Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, because he's trying to show what the Britishers have done long back to the country, trying to create a clear divide on the basis of the language, on the basis
Prafulla
of the
Ketkar, last 10 seconds before I end the debate.
education.
Prafulla
And
Ketkar.
if there were no
Prafulla
madrasas,
Ketkar.
probably India would not have achieved the independence so easily, because the contribution of madrasas cannot
Religion,
Prafulla Ketkar.
religion is a personal
Prafulla Ketkar.
space.
So now Khalikur Rahman says, madrasas are the reason India obtained independence. So now Khalikur Rahman is saying, Prafulla Ketkar, Khalikur Rahman is saying, now madrasas are the reason that India attained independence. Prafulla, last 30 seconds, I need to go to the other debate. Then I need to go to the other debate.
Madrasas are responsible for partition and he wants to continue with that agenda. The point here is very simple. When it comes to religion, it is your personal space. Do it at your home. When it comes to public education, you can't bring religion there. If you don't understand this message, then you are following Sharia mentality and you are again leading the country towards the partition, as it happened thanks to Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, who believed in two-nation theory. So what we want is, we don't want Hafiz Saeed in this country. We want a modern education. We don't want PFI-like mindset. We want a modern education for all.
Absolutely.
They can
My only
believe in Allah, they
concern
can
is, my
believe
only
in Shiva,
concern
they
is,
can believe in
the Assam
Bhagwan
Chief
Buddha.
Minister was making, I understand your point. I understand your point, Prafulla Ketkar, but I'm unable parallelly to understand why Atikur Rahman would begin by stating that it's not against madrasas, it's against a particular community, Aishwarya. And the Assam Chief Minister had a slip of tongue. No, you want to portray it that way. He's only saying that children should study maths, science, biology and botany, and I don't think there is any problem with that. That's the time I have for this topic. Thank you for all of you for joining on this debate.